want to step to the left just a little bit, I'll get started on the test. I know Brianne kind of gave you an explanation of what this is. This is our mobile R&D lab. So these are all the tests that we use in-house at Oakley to certify that our eyewear is going to be not only optically correct, but impact resistant as well as UV safe. As far as ANSI goes, if you're not familiar with it, it's the American National Standards Institute. They're a third-party nonprofit organization, and what they're doing is creating testing to guarantee certain levels of safety before certain products can be purchased by a consumer. So motorcycle helmets, bike helmets, child safety seats, things of that nature, as well as eyewear. There's 80.3, which is fashion and sports. That includes everybody out there pretty much other than Oakley: Gucci, Prada, Chanel, Electric, Von Zipper, Nike. Then there's the 87.1, which is industrial and safety. Right now, Oakley is the only sports performance or fashion eyewear brand that's even submitting our eyewear to these tests. We do it for a few reasons. Really, it sets the bar very high for anybody who wanted to compete with us, and it's going to be what's best for our athletes, our consumer, retailers, and it really shows that we're going that extra step to make the best eyewear on the market and to separate ourselves from everybody else on the shelf. So a quick explanation of some of the reasons we've come up or we use these tests as far as ANSI goes. Over time, eyewear has created a very wrapped and raked lens. Wrap being this curve from side to side, rake being a curve from top to bottom. The thing about that is they created it for comfort, fit, aerodynamics, peripheral protection, impact resistance, whatever it may be, a problem developed. And really what that is the bending of light. Light hits this lens, and then as it passes through, it wants to bend due to the curve of this lens. Well, now what that's doing is inhibiting you from seeing the object in its true state. You put the glasses on and it's not what was there before. You don't necessarily pick it up visually, but mentally you do, so you're kind of working against the glasses you paid money for. If you wear a size 7 shoe, you don't buy a 9 because it doesn't fit. So what we're doing is creating eyewear that's going to fit and work with you instead of against you. So the best way for me to get into that is probably to just start doing some of the tests. If you mind excusing me for 1 second, ma'am. If everybody can see down there, this is going to be our laser test. We're going to be testing for prismatic power and prismatic imbalance. What that is the bending of light, or the bending of light through a left and right lens. So if everybody can see as I walk down, there's going to be 2 lasers focused on the one point. Excuse me. So what that is 2 focal lengths focused on one focal point. That's just how you see naturally, 2 eyes, 1 image. This is what's allowing you to walk in a straight line. So, excuse me, sir. No problem. So as far as competitors go, I'm going to throw a few on there. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm just going to kind of give you an idea. Here's a competitor. Now if you look down there, it goes from 1 dot to 2. The thing is, if you're on a motorcycle doing 100 miles an hour, your brain is going to blend everything together. It's not going to be choppy. It's working very powerful with your eyes. Here's another one. The thing about this is you have to imagine that you can process thousands of frames a second. So you're doing this thousands of times a second over again, over again, over again. That creates a lot of fatigue, not only mentally but physically, as well as being a direct cause of headaches. Again, it's not something you pick up visually, it's something you pick up mentally, then you correct to see it in its natural state. There should be no difference from this to this. It's not prescription, it's just protection for your eyes. Here's a quote-unquote higher-end fashion piece, just to give you an idea. It's not going to make any difference how much money necessarily you spend on the glasses if you're working against them in the long run. So what we've created with XYZ Optics, which is our patented lens geometries, is that we're allowing that light to pass through there naturally. What we're trying to do is create eyewear that you can look through that seems like you have no eyewear on at all. What XYZ Optics is are hundreds of patents on this lens, and what we've done is we've created an optical center that's kind of like your eye. It's going to be more dense, drawing more light. And then with taper reduction, it radiates thin around that optical center. So what we're doing now is balancing out all the negative aspects of a curved lens. Really what that means is when light hits the exterior of the lens, it's going to pass through, enter and exit at the exact same angle, enters your eye naturally, creating no distortion. So really we're letting you see the object in its true state. You guys have any questions about that?